Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Fluctus channel. Military pilots are not born, but made.
The reason I wanted to become a pilot, as corny as it may be, was I watched Top Gun when I was 5 years old and remember saying, yep, that's what I want to do.
And preparing the average recruit to fly some of the most advanced aircraft in the world is no simple process. Recruiting Air Force pilots is a lengthy, detailed process that can vary depending upon the specific program and requirements. Those who apply must meet a battery of requirements even before they take the Air Force Officer Qualifying Test, or AFOQT. If they pass, they will enter the Officer Training School or Air Force Academy. All of this happens before they even apply for pilot training. A highly specialized process that can take several years to complete. Since aspiring Air Force pilots do not necessarily have practical flight knowledge, they need to learn theory in a classroom before they touch a plane.
Little knob on the right, and that's where you guys are going to set the altimeter setting. Really important that you guys understand what altitude we're actually at.
We'll kick both of you out.
The U.S. Air Force has embraced numerous classroom concepts over the years. But the PTN, or Pilot Training Next program, is one of the newest and most advanced. Launched in 2018, PTN is intended to enhance and accelerate the training of new pilots. By leveraging advancements in virtual reality, augmented reality, artificial intelligence, and other cutting-edge technologies. In doing so, it hopes to mitigate some of the challenges traditional pilot training programs face, such as the high cost, limited availability of training aircraft, and, of course, long education times. With its advanced VR-powered simulators, the PTN can provide realistic and immersive training experiences that enhance comprehension while reducing the need for actual flight hours. After completing basic flight training, Air Force pilots will generally move on to advanced training, which focuses on specific types of aircraft.
ISS solo in the back. Solo, 2 pins in.
They can also join programs or initiatives set to train them on new aircraft, like the F-35 Lightning II. Though these pilots are required to put in a certain number of flight hours to become certified on an aircraft, they still spend the majority of their time in the classroom. Flight is a science, after all, and these new pilots not only need to understand the physics of their job, but also boast an extensive knowledge of the aircraft they are flying. Student pilots will almost always complete their first flight in a new aircraft with an instructor. However, in the case of one-seater aircraft like the F-35, pilots and instructors will generally go up in separate aircraft during the first flight training. These F-35 B course students conducted their first training sortie over Luke Air Force Base in Arizona. While exciting for everyone concerned, it's important to note that these pilots have studied theory and engaged with simulators for weeks or months beforehand.
To go through so I can go to training. So right now the plan is to...
This affords them a lot of confidence when flying the real thing for the first time. Pilots are trained to use various skills, tactics, and strategies to engage and defeat enemy aircraft at close range. When the goal is to operate combat aircraft in offensive and defensive scenarios, pilots will need to undergo extensive in-flight weapons and tactics training on top of basic flight training. One of the most important of these is dogfight training. The term dogfight refers to aerial combat in which two or more aircraft are engaged. During dogfight training, pilots will learn to execute basic and advanced combat maneuvers. Learn about spatial awareness and energy management, and work with countermeasures such as chaff, flares, and electronic interference.
Come back in. Station 1918, roger that. Let your flight.
Most modern fighters are designed for multi-purpose mission capabilities. This means they will not only engage enemy aircraft, but also provide much-needed support by attacking enemy positions on the ground. This can be accomplished with a number of techniques, including bomb dropping, firing rockets or missiles, or executing what's known as a strafing run. This is where the aircraft flies low and fast over a target while firing weapons such as machine guns or cannons. Given the generally large caliber of modern aircraft guns, these attacks can be devastating for troops on the ground. While somewhat routine, another maneuver that requires extensive training is simple aerial refueling. This is where fighters or other aircraft engage with a tanker plane in midair so that they can refuel without having to land. During aerial refueling, the tanker aircraft extends a refueling boom or probe and drogue system. The receiving aircraft then matches the speed, connects to the apparatus, and receives the required amount of fuel. This operation involves some risks, mainly due to its sheer complexity. However, most of these are based on human errors, technical malfunctions, or adverse weather conditions. With the proper training and practice, aerial refueling is exceptionally safe. Easily, the most significant change in military flight training has been the invention of virtual reality and the advent of the Advanced Flight Simulator. For instance, rather than showing a series of pixels and shapes, newer VR simulators can replicate realistic virtual environments that closely replicate real-world scenarios. These technologies can also recreate various weather conditions, terrain features, and even complex combat situations, allowing pilots to practice in a safe yet immersive environment. Flight simulators and VR training also allow militaries worldwide to mitigate both risk and costs. Trainees can practice emergency procedures, flight maneuvers, and tactical operations without the potential of danger of accidents, equipment damage, or injury. And since there is no need for actual aircraft, there is no costly fuel consumption or ground crew hours to consider. It's important to note that simulators cannot wholly replace actual flying. Such technologies will likely always be used in conjunction with live training exercises.
You're empty too? Am I?
Pilots not only need to prepare their minds to fly aircraft, but their bodies as well. During the flight, humans are subjected to extreme forces that can sometimes result in unforeseen medical reactions. One of the oldest and most reliable ways to prepare pilots and navigators for flight is to use a centrifuge. Centrifuges are used to simulate high gravitational forces, commonly known as G-forces.
Yeah, they had the groundbreaking ceremony there.
Over the years, repeated exposure to high G-forces have been shown to cause loss of consciousness when not adequately managed. Therefore, the primary objective of centrifuge training is to expose pilots to high G-forces in a safe, controllable environment. This helps them understand the sensations and develop techniques to mitigate the associated physiological effects. Another inescapable fact of flight is exposure to high altitudes. As pilots climb higher, they enter a space where the air has much less oxygen. Hypoxia training chambers, also known as altitude chambers, are specialized facilities where such training is performed. These chambers are designed to simulate high-altitude conditions by reducing the atmospheric pressure and related oxygen content. Hypoxia training chambers can simulate altitudes of up to 25,000 feet or higher. In many cases, the Air Force will actually force the trainees to experience full hypoxia, or low blood oxygen, so that they can be more familiar with its effects.
Oh, okay. Who's my flight doctor? Oh, yeah. Your arms up as a T. And that same quick as the breaststroke.
Perhaps one of the most extreme and grueling tests trainee pilots will be subjected to is water survival training. This can be performed in specialized pools or in the open water. Either way, the goal is to accurately simulate all the things that might happen in the event of a water evacuation. For instance, jet skis will drag pilots to simulate being pulled around in the water by an open parachute. They will also be asked to swim in flight suits while carrying survival equipment. While this sort of training may seem excessive, it goes to show just how committed the Air Force is to preparing their pilots for anything they might encounter. That's the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure to subscribe to this channel so you don't miss any of our new content. See you next time.